Have you ever stopped to think about how a massive warehouse shipping thousands of orders an hour manages to avoid just complete and utter chaos? Well, it's not magic, I can tell you that. It's all thanks to a hidden digital brain, this brilliant piece of logic that's making millions of decisions every single second. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see how this invisible system really keeps our world moving. I want you to just picture this for a second. Millions of different items. You've got tiny little electronics, you've got bulky furniture, all of it under one gigantic roof. And they are constantly on the move, arriving, being stored, getting picked for orders, and then shipped right back out. The sheer scale of it, it's honestly mind-boggling. So that's the big question, right? How do you possibly orchestrate this incredibly complex dance of goods without everything just grinding to a halt? How can you guarantee that every single item gets exactly where it needs to be, right when it needs to be there? Well, the answer lies in one single, powerful, automated rulebook. And the solution is what I like to call a digital brain, and it's tucked away inside the warehouse management system. Now, this controller, it doesn't just track items like a spreadsheet. No, it actively directs every single movement and makes decisions on the fly in real time. And at the very heart of this brain is a concept we're going to dive into today called the warehouse process type. So what in the world is a warehouse process type, or WPT for short? Well, in a nutshell, it's the specific rule that controls any activity for any item inside the warehouse. It doesn't matter if a product is being received, stored, or shipped out. A WPT is the thing that tells the system, and by extension the workers, exactly what to do with it. You know, probably the best way to get your head around this is to think of a WPT as a combination of a GPS and a super specific rule book for every single item. It doesn't just say, hey, store this item. Oh no. It says, take this specific item, follow this exact path, and put it in this precise location. And oh, by the way, here are the special instructions for handling it. I mean, that's the incredible level of detail we're talking about here. Okay, so to really understand how a WPT works, we got to look at the different kinds of jobs it manages, because not all movements are created equal, right? So the system smartly categorizes them into these distinct processes. And these are the big four. First, you've got put away. That's just for storing incoming goods. Pretty simple. Then you have stock removal, which is the exact opposite. That's picking items to fulfill an order. Internal movements are for shifting stock around inside the warehouse, like refilling a picking area. And then there's posting change. This one's a little different. It's more of a digital status update. Think of it like changing an item's tag from ready to sell to on hold for a quality check, without it ever physically moving an inch. Each one of these is driven by its own unique WPT. And here's a really crucial point. WPTs handle both simple and complex tasks. A simple move is a direct command, right? Take this box to bin A01. The WPT already knows the final destination. But a complex move, that's more like a mission objective. Start the put-away process for this whole pallet. In this case, the WPT doesn't know the final bin itself. Instead, it kicks off a bigger, multi-step process that's going to figure out the best place for that pallet to go based on a whole bunch of other rules. So, this naturally leads to the next question. If you have all these different WPTs for all these different jobs, how does the system possibly know which one to use for any given item at any given time? Well, this is where the real intelligence, the real magic, comes into play. The system isn't guessing. It's not flipping a coin, it's a detective. The moment a new task arrives, let's say an inbound delivery truck pulls up to the dock, the system immediately starts looking for clues to find the perfect WPT for every single item on that truck. And here's how that detective work actually happens, step by step. First, a task hits the system. Second, the system instantly gathers all the data about it. What kind of document is this? What type of item is it? Is it high priority? Third, it scans a rule table. And this is key. It starts with the most specific rule it can find. If it finds a perfect match for that exact combination, boom, it uses that WPT. If not, it just broadens its search to more general rules until it finds one that fits. And finally, the perfect WPT is found and assigned, and the physical process can begin. And this right here, this is the magic in action. Because of that super detailed logic, the system makes these subtle but critical decisions automatically. So a pallet of TVs can be assigned a WPT that sends it straight to a high rack for storage. But another pallet of the exact same TVs that needs a new promotional sticker gets a different WPT that routes it to a special work area first. Getting that wrong could be a huge, costly mistake. The WPT makes sure it's right every single time without a human ever having to think about it. Okay, so this is all very clever from a technical standpoint, I get it. But what does it actually mean for the business? I mean, why go through all this trouble to create such a detailed system? Well, the real-world impact is absolutely huge.
It really just boils down to these three things. First, you get ultimate control. You can define exactly how any product is handled, which prevents those expensive mistakes. Second, you get peak efficiency. Automating these decisions gets rid of human error and bottlenecks, which means your orders get out the door way faster. And third, and this is a big one, you get total flexibility. If your business needs to change, you just adjust a rule in a table. You don't have to rip out and rebuild your entire system from scratch.
So, the big takeaway here is this. The warehouse process type is so much more than just a warehouse tool. It's really a model for smart automation, and it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. Where else in your business could a digital brain like this one transform mind-numbing complexity into simple, automated, and elegant efficiency?
Have you ever just